How are churches in America today? If you're a senior pastor of a church in America, I'm sure you already found out by now that it is a challenging job. It is not like a professional career with great financial rewards and all these perks. It is quite challenging. I'm an immigrant who came to this country some 30 years ago. I am thankful for the blessing of the opportunity that I was given in this beautiful land. I started work as an IT professional, first as a consultant, and worked my way to establishing a successful career in information technology. God has been good. Yet my true calling is to teach and preach God's Word and serve the church as its pastor. I was a bivocational pastor for many years, and it worked well for a while, until the time came when it was clear that I had to make a choice. I have to follow God and serve Him as a full-time pastor of our church. Making that decision did not make the work any easier. As many of you senior pastors know, you work longer hours. Apart from preparing your sermons, you start the day praying hard for the church. You disciple, you nurture, you counsel, you train, you administer the operations of the church, you meet with people, and when the day is over, you pray again for the church and spend long hours thinking and strategizing. Not to mention the unnecessary stresses of opposition, conflicts, and those who disagree with you. I now look back and wonder how I ever did it as a bivocational minister before. Needless to say, being a pastor in America with every challenge that I mentioned, and then compounded by these strange postmodern times in the middle of the accelerated information age, in a polarized political atmosphere, add the new normal brought about by the pandemic of 2020, being a pastor is still the most rewarding vocation of all. Nope, I'm not talking about money or material possessions. You know, as a pastor, that the greatest reward and best measure of success is when your church is actually growing. Not achieving this measure of success can be the source of anguish, trouble, and loneliness for every pastor. Let us look at the state of churches in America today. Renowned author and preacher Dr. Robert E. Coleman gave this observation. It is no secret that the organized church today is in trouble. Not only has the institution lost momentum, but by and large it has lost direction. Dr. Robert Sams, the founder of iTIM, said this: "Momentum is directly related to direction. We have lost momentum as Christ's ambassadors, precisely because we have lost direction in regard to the nature of the Great Commission. The fact is, in most churches today, leadership has lost sight of the discipling task to which Christ called all of us, and which is the key to growth." If we look at the latest statistics on churches in the U.S., in the aftermath of the pandemic of 2020, only 52% of churchgoers want in-person services again. In 2020, 84% of churches are plateauing and declining. The recent Gallup polls show that 19% of Americans do not have a religious preference. This is up by 11% from a similar survey in the year 2000. The Gallup poll shows that only 42% of millennials attend church. This is the lowest generational percentage. Some Gallup polls show that church attendance among traditionalists has declined by 9% since the year 2000. The combined membership of all Protestant denominations in the U.S. are declining in percentage compared to the rise in the population. The ratio between number of churches and number of people keep declining. More churches are closing than new churches being planted. The United States now ranks third following China and India in the number of people who are not professing Christians. These statistics are not caused by the coronavirus pandemic. There's been a steady decline in church growth and lessening impact of the church here in America. We have to study what the problem is and how the problem can be solved. And although this research is based on churches in America, the same problems can exist in churches anywhere in the world and can be resolved by a common solution. In the next session, we will see the root cause of the problem of church growth, or the decline of churches, in our time, and see how iTIM offers a solution.